Magadi mose muri Zimbabwe kusangana zvikari pano pachivhitivhiti chenyu pa TV yenyu patinokupai nyaya nemalate subjects anenge achiitika munyika yeZimbabwe. Nhasi uno pane press statement yabuda iyo iri kutaura kuti hurumende vaMnangagwa yasplita lands neagriculture ministries acho aseparatewa. Ndio kubuda kwazvaita. According to ZF Ministerial News, yauya chiti government splits lands and agriculture ministry. The government has split the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Rural Development into two separate portfolios in a move amid at improving efficient and saving delivery. Evangelist Peter Haritatos has been appointed as appointed Minister of Lands and Rural Development, while Dr. Ashias Chongwe Masuka will head the Ministry of Agriculture, Mechanization and Water Resources Development. The appointment and the reassignments take immediate effect, according to the Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, Dr. Martin Rushwaya. Ndo mabudira zvaita. So isu satina chimwe chatingakudzei chatingatokudza ndechekuti isusu tine makomrades edu vari kunze kwenyika vari diaspora nevamwe munyika vatinenge tiinawo panawo.
It's nice to see you here. You sound refreshed and very raring to go. And I love the topic that you're touching on. But I get sort of discouraged in some of the sentiments you say. I will say I'll forgive in that sometimes there's not enough room for you to expand on the things you say. But there's a danger that in that reductive way in which, of course, you are limited by time, there can be a misunderstanding. So I want clarity. The bill amendment number 3 touches something that you should be a godfather and a custodian to lead in that discourse. It's attempt to politicize chiefs who contribute a percentage into our governance and our judicial system. Now, having a historic context, that the chiefs that we already have are a political construct of the British South Africa Company and inherited till this day by successive administrators. How is it that you do not see the danger in this bill amendment for the current black government to be perpetuating the British South Africa Company model of saying the chiefs must act as native commissioners who are influenced by politics? Yet you are you conserve Tsikanema Gariro. And you should be protectionist of that sacred part of our judicial system. Why is it that you are not taking that opportunity to speak of that bill being a danger, the continuation? Because one, you are admitting to us that you already have a problem with our constitution, our governance style, and our democratic system. Yet when that bill proposes to extend that arm of influence, which is dirty, which is politicized, which is Eurocentric, and all the other inheritance from Greek to Roman, and yet you are allowing this bill in its attempt to make chiefs political. Why are you not saying the bill is wrong? Instead of it allowing this arm of politics, which is the dirty aspect that brings any judicial review that the courts in the customary courts are making, if they become political, they create precedence into our judicial system. Why are you not taking that opportunity as a cultural protectionist?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much. Bishop Maponga, let us go to the second person, then you can respond to both of them.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let us go to research. Research, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Wulu, for the excellent space. I have got 3 questions, just strictly. Number 1, it is environmental. Bishop Maponga said that people can use baobab trees to make clothes, but yet we know that baobab trees are non-renewable. Can we sustain 1 million people in Zimbabwe through baobab trees, or the baobab trees will become extinct? Because research has already shown that that is not a good way, because it can destroy these species that we need. So do you think those people who discovered it are wrong? Number two, Bishop Maponga, the first ZANU-PF conference refused the 2030 agenda. And then the second ZANU-PF conference accepted that agenda. But later, we discovered that they added more components which were not discussed, like the inclusion of MPs, councillors, and the power of the chiefs. Is that democratic? Is that acceptable? That is why Mercy and other people are rejecting that it did not come from the ZANU-PF people. But that will lead to the next question, which Mercy talked about. You said that you don't agree with democracy. Therefore, are you not using a constitutional coup against democracy? Because our constitution states that we are a democratic country, but you are now refusing. So is it an admission that the constitution is correct, but you don't like it, so let's violate it? That is where we should go. Like what Mercy said, that you don't agree on democracy, but our constitution said, let's agree on democracy. And then, are you not performing a constitutional coup on democracy? Why can't you go through the referendum for you to do that constitutional coup? And finally, Rutendo talked about assassination. What if you are heard, you are going to hear that tomorrow Rutendo is dead? Are you going to hold that view that Rutendo was wrong in trying to protect himself? Because the issue of life is personal. But already you are trying to tell Rutendo that don't talk about any, threats that are coming true. So if Rutendo were told that he's going to face some challenges next, will you still accept that Rutendo was wrong? So for court, I don't ask about it, because you said you don't believe in democracy. So that is why you hate court, maybe. Thank you very much, Will.
All right, thank you, Research. And well, before Bishop Maponga responds, Research, can I request you kindly to drop to the listeners? We have so many other people that we need to bring up. So everybody, as soon as you engage with Bishop Maponga, please drop yourself so that we can be able to bring others up. Thank you again for joining me, Hulu, at Pachiso Live. Thank you for joining Rudo Robo, the Hot Seat Empire, my co-host there. And today we have also decided to add bus driver so that we can have this conversation being quite inclusive. Please, guys, remember that you must follow us if you want to hear more about these, and make sure also that we share this information with many others. Thank you for our partners at Pachiso Live partners who are here on the space and who are distributing the information to the worldwide audience. Thank you, Bishop Maponga. Please go ahead.
The indigenous question, very, very interesting. And the accusations that are leveled at me are equally square, and I accept the challenge that I received there. The model that I've written, and I've thought through it very carefully, we are all complaining because the government seems to have no oversight. No one can instruct the president what to do. It looks like the model of democracy we're using places him at the helm of the government in terms of the republic arrangement. In our indigenous forms, which I have written on extensively, the president must report to the owners of the land. Therefore, the indigenous people, each one from their own area, from Beitbridge, Mtorashanga, Zarabani, Wange, all the owners of the land who are responsible for their citizens, must come and sit in a circle and put the president at the center. Each one of them will tell the president what they need to do in their own country, what they need done in their own spaces. Therefore, the president stops being a president. Germany has done that. They have a chancellor. They don't have a president. Then we can actually have a CEO model, where the CEO comes to report to the board of directors. Who are the owners of the land? Who are holding the land for us as trustees? Who are the common people? So instead of building a pyramid, I would rather build a circle of democracy or build a circle of governance where the president must come and be answerable to the people rather than the people answering to the president. The baobab trees, my brother, I feel pain when I hear you say what you're saying. conservation, telling us about green energy. Young men, get my number from Hulu. I will make a personal effort to take you to Chimanimani, to Mzarabani, where the harvesting of the baobab is happening. They don't kill the trees. Those are living clothes. They take a small little bark, and every 3 years they come to harvest it. They eat the fruits and the barks of the tree, they make their clothes. So we're not destroying the trees. And for your own information, baobab trees are plantable. So we can actually populate and plant lots of baobab trees and create that into a factory in the industry of textiles. ZANU-PF, I'm not informed about the processes of ZANU-PF. And the process itself, I was never part of it. As to what happened, where, who voted what to happen, I think I'll leave that to the political commissariat to answer as to the process. But you're dragging me into an institution which I've already rebutted that, please, if you are going to include me into the democratic space, I would want a full representation from our indigenous and organic governance systems. And why am I still speaking and I'm letting this democratic process go on? And am I not messing up and abusing the constitution? And I think you used a very interesting word there, that am I not becoming an enemy of democracy? Within democracy itself, there is something they call self-actualization. There is something they call self-determination, which means as an individual, I have a right to be, and I have a right to decide and choose what I want to and what I don't want to. Though the majority will work against me, the minority must still be protected by the rights of the majority, and the majority must also be protected by the rights of the minority. And I think I did this discussion once on the homosexuality issue in Johannesburg, where I argued that if 99% of the people say we don't want homosexuality, why is the outside world still telling us that we must entrench it in our constitution? Because then they put the responsibility of the majority to protect the minority, and the minority must not abuse the majority. That's a conversation that democracy is not willing to confess right now. Lastly, the assassination of Benson Matinyarare, and I think, my brother, you're being very cruel, because without saying too much, you're saying if Rutenda should die, if Rutenda should be assassinated, then I'm included in that list. But if you were here earlier on, I dismissed those allegations, and I refuted them with the strongest terms ever. I was not in Harare. I don't know that meeting. And the confidences that Matinyarare has on his assassination, he must go and smoke those confidences of his and his informants, wherever they came from. I have no clue, I have no knowledge, I have no interest, no vested interest whatsoever in Benson Matinyarare's life. He's an individual, he has a right to life and to do what he wants to do with his life and make his own decisions. And those decisions are not subject to me or hindrance to me. All I can say is that those accusations are not founded. They are simply aspersions. If a man who is trying to play into the gallery and play the messianic role, that is a political